Hi everyone. Today's topic is going to be about tricuspid atresia. Now, I know a lot of you probably have no idea what that means, and I know I didn't before I started researching it. But before I get into that, I want to talk to you about a healthy heart and what a healthy heart looks like. So, in a healthy heart, there are two main loops of circulation in the heart. So there is systemic circulation, which provides oxygenated blood and nutrients to the body, and then there's pulmonary circulation, which allows the oxygenation of the blood. So the main purpose of our cardiovascular system in our body is to circulate the blood through our entire body. In a healthy heart, the tricuspid valve separates the right atrium and the right ventricle and controls the flow of the blood between the two of them. Which leads us to my little chart here. So, in a healthy heart, you can clearly see that this is the tricuspid valve, and it's a little valve that keeps blood from overflowing into one and underflowing into another. So it keeps the control of our blood in our heart. Now, I'm going to talk to you about tricuspid atresia. Tricuspid atresia is a birth defect of the tricuspid valve. And it occurs when the valve does not form when your mom is pregnant with you in her belly. So blood can't go from the right atrium to the right ventricle or to the lungs to get oxygen. So babies with this critical defect usually need surgery right after they're born, or pretty much soon after they're born. Babies with tricuspid atresia can also have holes in their right and left atrium and their right and left ventricle. You can see right here. The hole between the right atrium and the left atrium is called atrial septal defect. And then the hole between the right ventricle and the left ventricle is ventricular septal defect. So, doctors can give medicine to keep the baby's PDA open, and the PDA is the patent ductus arteriosus. And the PDA allows the blood to move from the lungs to get oxygen. The TGA, which I found pretty fascinating, is the transposition of the great arteries, which the TGA is where the main arteries' blood flow in the heart is reversed. So, if you have oxygenated blood on one side of your heart and deoxygenated blood on the other side of the heart, their duties, their jobs, switch. So it's fully reversed. And I found that really, really fascinating. Now, I want to talk to you about the survival rate of this defect. I thought it would be a lot lower considering the severity of this whole thing, but it's actually pretty high. It has a 75 to 95% survival rate, which I thought was pretty impressive. Now for the symptoms. The symptoms include trouble breathing, a pale tint or bluish tint to your skin, not feeding, so not eating their formula or feeding from their mother's breast milk. And the last one is excessive sleepiness, so they're always sleeping, so fatigue. And then I also want to talk to you about the treatments. So there are certain medications that doctors can give to strengthen the heart walls and also help with the blood pressure in your heart. There's also, for the babies who don't eat and aren't eating that well, there is a high-calorie formula that the doctors can give them. And then for the last one, it's obviously surgery. And what I found fascinating about the surgery part was that there are different types of surgery for different ages. So it can be ranging from a newborn to someone who is 2 years old. And I found that really interesting. But thank you all for talking with me about tricuspid atresia, and I hope that you all learned something because I know I did.